Hey, Bayek, it's me, Ian. And in today's video, well, I'm looking at this. This is Nicholas and Alexandra from 1971. This is a wonderful film. It's an epic, absolutely fantastic film, and an amazing amount of actors involved in this. There's such a lot. I can't list everyone, but I've put quite a lot down. So yeah, I'll better get on with it. So it's 188 minutes long. There you are. It is a long film. Now Rotten Tomatoes give it 69%, which I suspect is quite good for them. There was a lot of positive feedback on this film from the critics and the audience, but there also was some negativity around as well. I don't know why, to be honest, why anybody would be negative about this film. Really, I don't understand it. Now, the screenplay was by James Goldman. James Goldman, wow, listen to this. He was the writer for The Lion in Winter, 1968, Robin and Marian, 1976, White Nights, 1985, and Anna Karenina, 1985. And this is based on a novel called Nicholas and Alexander from 1967 by Robert K. Massey. Now it's directed by Franklin J. Schaffner. Listen to this filmography that he's directed. Right. The Stripper, 1963. The Warlord, 1963. That's Charlton Heston on that one. Planet of the Apes, 1968. Charlton Heston as well in that. What a film that is. That is an absolute amazing film. Then we have got Patton, yeah, the one about General Patton, 1970. Papillon, 1973. Wow. Islands in the Stream, 1977. The Boys from Brazil, 1978. Sphinx, 1981. And Lionheart, 1987. Some amazing films he directed. Let's go on with the cast. The cast, what a cast. I mean, there's so many names in here. We've got Michael Jason playing Nicholas. He was in Cromwell, Birth of a Nation. Cromwell's 1970. Birth of a Nation, 1973. Tales That Witness Madness, 1973, which is a brilliant horror anthology. Craze, 1974, another brilliant horror film. Zulu Dawn, 1979. And also, I've got to mention it, as a Doctor Who fan, he was in Doctor Who in 1986, The Trial of the Time Lord. He played the Valiant, which is a sixth Doctor story. And then we've got Janet Sussman, who plays Alexandra. Films she was involved in: A Day in the Life of Joe Egg, The Black Windmill, what a film that, in 1974. Voyage of the Damned, 1976. Priest of Love, 1981. Nuns on the Run, 1990. And Leon the Pig Farmer, 1992. Then we've got Roderick Noble, who plays Alexis, the young lad, the heir, the only male heir. He retired from acting. There's no real after he did this and that was it really. Then we've got Anna Marson, who plays Olga. She was in Puppet on a Chain, brilliant film that one, 1971. Bad Timing, 1980. Art Garfunkel, Nicholas Roeg film. Oh, 2015, Howl. Howl werewolf film. Don't Knock Twice, 2016, another horror. See How They Run, 2022. And Unwelcome, 2023. Then we've got Lynn Frederick, who plays Titania. Lynn Frederick is quite a tragic kind of actress as well, but who's, I think, pedigree has really gone up over the years. She was, of course, famously married to Peter Sellers. Vampire Circus, 1971. Hammer horror, brilliant. Then we got Henry VIII, His Six Wives, 1972. The Amazing Mr. Blunder, 1972. Phase 4, sci-fi classic, 1974. Voyage of the Damned again, 1976. The Prisoner of Zenda, 1979. Amazing films. Then we got Candice Glanding playing Maria. Up Pompeii, 1971. Tower of Evil, 1972. The Flesh and Blood Show, 1972. Satan's Slave, 1976. Some real funny, good ones there as well. Cult classics, as we might say. Fiona Fullerton plays Anastasia. She was in Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, 1972. A View to Kill, 1985. James Bond, Roger Moore. And a lot of TV films and TV series. Then we've got Harry Andrews. Harry Andrews, amazing career. He plays the Grand Duke Nicholas. He often played very similar roles at one time, but he did a lot of other things as well. Just a few of his films. Let's see. Alexandra the Great, 1956. 633 Squadron, 1964. The Hill, 1965. Entertaining Mr. Sloan. That's a Joe Orton play, 1972. Oh, I forgot The Charge of the Light Brigade. We've got to have that one in 1968. He was in Battle of Britain, of course, which is a lot of great actors in Battle of Britain, 1969. He was in Man at the Top, 1973. Theatre of Blood, which is absolutely brilliant with Vincent Price and a whole host of great actors. And then, he's in loads of TV series and TV films. Absolutely amazing. Then we've got Tom Baker playing Rasputin. Tom Baker, the legend that is Tom Baker. I think one of his outstanding films before he became the Doctor was The Golden Voyage of Sinbad in 1973. But of course, he is Doctor Who. Who else? Doctor Who. Between 1974, 1981, he was the fourth Doctor. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Then we've got Jack Hawkins, who plays Count Fredericks. The Cruel Sea, 1953. Bridge of the River Kwai, a classic war film, 1959. Ben-Hur, 1959. League of Gentlemen, 1960. Lawrence of Arabia, 1962. Zulu, 1964. Oh, What a Lovely War, 1969. Waterloo. Oh, wow. Waterloo, 1970. When Eight Bells Toll, 1971. An underrated Alistair MacLean classic story. Young Winston, 1972. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant film directed by Richard Attenborough. And then we got Theatre of Blood, 1973. I mean, Theatre of Blood, another just absolutely amazing film. You can just talk about Theatre of Blood. And then Tales That Witness Madness. That is from 1973. An anthology, horror anthology. Brilliant. Timothy West. Dr. Bodkin. Timothy West, a lot of TV. He's a very familiar face on TV. But some of his films are interesting. Twisted Nerve, 1968. The Looking Glass War, 1969. Hitler, The Last 10 Days, 1973. Um, Cry Freedom, 1987. Yeah, Cry Freedom, brilliant film. And also he was in a film called Endgame, 2009. But I say he's very well known on TV. And then we've got a classic actor, Laurence Olivier, who plays Count White. What a career on theatre and in film. Wuthering Heights, 1939. These are some of the films. Rebecca, 1940. Henry V, of course, 1944. Hamlet, 1948. Richard III, 1955. The Entertainer, 1960. Spartacus, 1960. Bunny Lake is Missing, 1965. I mean, great films, these. Khartoum, of course, 1966. Oh, What a Lovely War, of course, 1969. A lot of people in that one. Battle of Britain, another one which is full of brilliant actors, 1969. Lady Caroline Lamb, 1972. Sleuth, 1972. A Bridge Too Far, 1977. Oh, and I forgot the year before that. Marathon Man, wow. 1976. The Boys from Brazil, 1978. Brilliant performances. Then we got Michael Bryant playing Lenin. He was in A Night to Remember, 1958. Torch Garden, 1967, which is an Amicus horror anthology film. He was in Caravan to Vacaras, 1974. And Gandhi, 1982. Then Brian Cox. Oh, Brian Cox. I love Brian Cox. He's a great actor. Trotsky. He's playing Trotsky. Manhunter, 1986. What a performance as Hannibal Lecter. Then we Braveheart, 1995. The Bourne Identity, 2002. The Bourne Supremacy, 2004. Red Eye, 2005. Zodiac, 2007. What films these are. Ironclad, 2011. And of course the brilliant horror film, The Autopsy of Jane Doe, 2016. But he is an amazing actor, still doing it, and in a lot of TV as well, some great TV. Then we have got Ian Holm playing Yakovlev. Wow. He was in Oh, What a Lovely War, 1969. He was in Young Winston. Yeah, Young Winston, that pops up so much, doesn't it? 1972. He was also in Shout at the Devil, which is another brilliant film, 1976. And Alien, 1979. Yes, he played the android, of course. Spoiler there, but there we are. He was in Naked Lunch, 1991. And he was in The Fifth Element, 1997. What a film Fifth Element is. Wow. And of course, I've got to say, he was in The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Rings. He was in Lord of the Rings, The Return of the Kings. That was 2003. And wow, what can I say about them films? And he was in The Hobbit in 2012 and 2014, the two parts of The Hobbit. And he was in Day After Tomorrow, which is 2004. Absolutely great films. And another one who has appeared on TV. What an actor. Just amazing actor. So there is the cast. I've gone through the cast. It's absolutely epic cast. I mean, what can you say about that cast? It's just amazing. Absolutely amazing. So what is this film about? Well, it is a massive epic look at the reign of Nicholas and Alexandra. They are the last Tsar and Tsaress of Russia. They come in a period of great turmoil for Russia. We get the 1905 revolution, and then of course it all leads up to the 1917 revolution. and the Bolsheviks take over. It's a tragic story in many ways, but really, Nicholas, as a Tsar, he didn't listen to his advisors. He was, he believed himself above. It was too late by the time he could have done anything. He didn't respond well enough. I mean, he was given a great chance in um, after the first revolution and calling the Russian parliament the Duma and everything. You know, he had a wonderful chance, but he blew it. And he just carried on, and taking the country into the First World War was an absolute disaster. It all was going to end badly. And this film brilliantly shows it all. What performances by the acting. It looks fantastic as well. But it's great to see this wonderful period in history, dramatic period in history, all there in front. And you right to the very tragic end. The ending is tragic, but it happened because he didn't compromise, and that was the problem. There was no compromise with him, and inevitably that the end was going to happen. But also we get the story about the son, their only son, Alexis, who's a haemophiliac, and the influence of Rasputin, so-called Mad Monk Rasputin, over Alexandra, and all in connection with healing and helping with Alexis. And Tom Baker's brilliant. You've got to love Tom Baker as Rasputin. It's fantastic. But again, you know it's all going to end badly. And this is what happens. It does. I say, historically, it gives you a good insight into everything. Like anything, it's not going to be historically accurate all the time. There's things missing, but that doesn't matter. It gives you a really good view of what was going on. And I think this film has to be congratulated for showing that. It doesn't gloss over things at all. And we see that the Tsar is totally out of touch. Out of touch, totally. It's his own fault in many ways that all these things happened. People were wanting him to reform, and he could have done, and he might have saved himself and his family, but he wouldn't. Even when the first Russian government came in, Kerensky was the prime minister before the Bolshevik coup, they were still trying to get some. They could have got an agreement, but no. Doesn't that remind you of somebody else as well, who I've talked about? Charles I in the English Civil War, and we know what happened to him. He lost his head, and well, the tragic ending with these as well. What does it tell you? It tells you that these people were out of touch and were stubborn and had no idea of what the reality was, and they wouldn't listen to her advisors. This is a brilliant film. As I say, I love it. Everything about it is really good. It's highly recommended. If you love these kind of historical epic films, you will love this. Fantastic film. And there it is. I think that's my review. I'll just show you my DVD copy of this. There it is. And there's the back. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And inside, we've got here the disc there. Fantastic. Absolutely love it. And that's it. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and we'll let you know when I put out these videos. If you give this one a like, it gets it out onto YouTube so other people might enjoy it. So please give it a like. And if you've got any comments, please put your comments down. I'll have to read them and I'll always reply to them. And that's it. So all I've got to say is, I'll see thee again.